son of Lil Jon, a missing adult son.
DJ, I produce, I engineer, and I'm an artist. And my dad is the king of crunk, Lil Jon.
Nathan Smith, better known as DJ Young Slade, the son of music legend Lil Jon, was sadly found unresponsive in a pond near his home in Milton, Georgia. Authorities have stated there's no sign of foul play, but the streets are still buzzing with questions. Today, we're unpacking everything surrounding those final hours, the odd circumstances behind his sudden disappearance, and why so many people think there's more going on than what's being shared. This situation has everyone talking, and the details are leaving folks uneasy. This isn't just some random tragedy. This is the story of a 27-year-old man with talent, success, and a bright future who stepped out of his home one Tuesday morning and heartbreakingly never came back. Let's dive in and piece this together step by step. First, let's talk about who Nathan Smith really was, because mainstream outlets love to shrink people down to a headline. But this man was so much more than just Lil Jon's son. Nathan, aka DJ Young Slade, was a 27-year-old creative from Milton, Georgia. That's roughly 30 miles north of Atlanta, the same city where his father, Lil Jon, built his legendary career. And if you don't already know,
he has been found in a pond in Milton in the search for the son of rapper Lil Jon.
Lil Jon is a Grammy-winning icon, the mastermind behind massive hits like Yeah with Usher and Ludacris, and of course, the unforgettable Turned Down for What. This story runs deeper than it looks, and people are watching closely. Certified hits that shaped an entire era of hip-hop and crunk. That's the legacy Nathan was born into. But don't get it twisted, Nathan wasn't just living off his father's fame. This man was carving out his own lane in the game. He was a music producer, an artist, and an audio engineer. And on top of that, he graduated from NYU, New York University, one of the top schools in the nation. That alone says a lot about his drive and intelligence. Getting into NYU takes serious focus, but finishing strong, that's a whole new level of dedication. Nathan balanced the grind of academics with perfecting his sound in the studio, crafting beats, engineering tracks, and building a name that stood on its own. He was truly creating his own legacy. Lil Jon himself spoke highly of Nathan, saying he was amazingly talented. The two shared a genuine father-son bond that fans could see all over social media and even on national TV. They teamed up on Family Feud in 2024, showing the world their close connection, laughing, joking, and supporting each other every step of the way. You could feel that real love between them. That's the kind of bond many people dream of having with their dad. Not just fame and family ties, but true respect and affection. Everyone who knew Nathan said he stood out in the best way. Lil Jon described him as one of the kindest people you could ever meet. Thoughtful, caring, polite, and full of heart. That wasn't just a grieving dad talking. Industry folks, friends, family, everybody kept saying the same thing. Nathan had that light. He had a vibe that pulled people in, even in a game full of egos, clout chasers, and fake love. Nathan was the real one, humble, talented, and not loud about it, and people felt that energy instantly. He wasn't a hobbyist messing with beats. Nathan was engineering tracks, linking with artists, and stacking a serious portfolio. He had the schooling, the contacts through his dad, and most of all, the talent and grind to stand on his own merit. So when word spread that he went missing under odd circumstances, the whole hip-hop scene sat up and paid attention. Nothing about this made sense from the jump. Here's the timeline that raised all the red flags. Early Tuesday morning, Nathan Smith ran out of his house like full sprint, not just stepped outside or drove off. He bolted on foot, and the wild part that had everybody confused, he left without his phone. Think about that. It's 2025, and who bounces without their phone? Especially a 27-year-old music producer who probably keeps his beats, contacts, sessions, and whole life on that device. The lack of a phone in that moment made people ask real questions and start digging for answers. Nobody just leaves their phone behind. That's not normal at all. Especially if someone's rushing out the house like something's got them uneasy or on edge. Your phone is your lifeline. It's how you call for help. get directions, stay in touch. Leaving it behind means there was either major panic, total confusion, or a moment where clear thinking just wasn't happening. The Milton Police Department got the call that Tuesday morning about Nathan's disappearance. His family reported him missing right away, and they made it clear that this situation was not typical for him. When the police released the missing person notice, it included a key detail. Nathan may be disoriented and in need of assistance. That line stood out. That's official language, meaning something seemed off with his state of mind or behavior at the time. The word disoriented carries real weight here. It suggests Nathan might not have been thinking clearly, maybe dealing with extreme stress, anxiety, exhaustion, or something that threw him completely off balance. There's also the chance he hadn't slept, was overworked, or just mentally drained, which all can mess with your judgment big time. Whatever was happening, the people closest to him could tell something was seriously off. His friends and family weren't just casually worried, they were deeply concerned for his safety from the very start. They knew right away that Nathan wasn't acting like himself. Maybe he'd seemed distant, anxious, or behaving in a way that didn't feel normal the night before. Maybe Nathan said something that worried the people around him. Maybe his mood or behavior shifted in the days leading up to that Tuesday. We don't have every detail yet, but what's clear is that those closest to him instantly knew this wasn't the Nathan they knew and loved. This wasn't his normal self. It seemed like he was going through something serious. Milton, Georgia is known for being a calm, upscale area. Tree-lane streets, big homes, and tight-knit neighborhoods where folks actually know each other. It's not the kind of place where people just vanish out of nowhere. So when someone goes missing in a community like that, and especially under concerning circumstances, everyone steps up fast. And that's exactly what happened here. For days, the search never stopped. The Milton Police Department, Nathan's family, friends, and even local residents came together. Everyone was out there looking for him. They checked nearby neighborhoods, wooded areas, and local businesses, while social media was flooded with his photo and updates. Volunteers walked through fields, trails, and creeks, hoping for any sign that could help.
Because of Lil Jon's fame, Nathan's story spread nationwide, and the entire hip-hop community joined in, posting, sharing, and praying for a safe return. People from all over were hoping for a miracle, hoping that somehow he'd be found safe and sound. Search teams were checking every angle, reviewing doorbell footage, business security cameras, and any possible lead. Police were interviewing witnesses, following every tip, and staying on it non-stop. This wasn't treated like just another missing person case. This was the son of a global music icon, which brought massive media attention and serious pressure to find out what really happened. Tuesday passed, then Wednesday came and went, then Thursday, still nothing. With each day that slipped by, the fear got heavier. The reality is, when someone is missing for days, especially when there are signs they may have been in emotional distress, the concern grows fast. Everyone involved knew time mattered in a situation like this. By Friday morning, the search took a heartbreaking turn. Search teams made a discovery in a pond not far from Nathan's home, near the same neighborhood where he lived with his family. A pond that had likely been there for years. The kind of retention pond you see in quiet suburban communities across the country, built for drainage, surrounded by grass and trees, blending into the background so easily that most people barely notice it. It wasn't some remote wilderness miles away. It was right there, part of the everyday landscape. That detail alone shook people up. The Milton Police Department released a statement saying the remains were believed to be Nathan Smith. They explained that the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office would make official confirmation using standard identification methods like fingerprints, dental records, or other verified procedures. But based on the location, physical description, clothing, and the timeline of events, authorities stated they had strong reason to believe it was him. Authorities stated, to date, there is no indication of foul play. Let that sink in for a second. No indication of foul play. That means, based on what they've seen so far, investigators believe this was either a tragic accident or possibly the result of a personal crisis, not an act committed by someone else. But that's when the public started asking questions, because when you slow it down and really look at the details, some parts feel hard to process. Let's walk through this carefully.
I'm laying out what's been shared and the questions people have raised. You can form your own opinion, but certain pieces stand out. First, the mental state question. Police mentioned Nathan may have been disoriented when he left home. That word points to confusion, distress, or some kind of emotional or psychological struggle at that moment. It could mean intense anxiety, overwhelming stress, lack of sleep, or another serious personal challenge affecting his judgment. But here's why people are puzzled. From the outside, Nathan seemed to be doing well. He was creating music, building his career, and had recently appeared on Family Feud with his father. He looked connected to his family and focused on his craft. So people are wondering, if he was facing something internally, when did it start? Was it something private that never made it to the public eye? The music world, especially hip-hop, has had ongoing conversations about mental health. Many artists have quietly struggled behind the scenes while appearing strong on the outside. Over the years, the industry has seen heartbreaking losses connected to depression, addiction, and emotional pain. A lot of artists who looked successful and happy on the outside were quietly dealing with serious personal struggles behind closed doors. So it's not impossible that Nathan could have been battling something people didn't see. Depression doesn't discriminate. Anxiety doesn't care about money, fame, or connections. Mental health challenges can affect anyone at any time. And sometimes, the people who seem the strongest are the ones carrying the heaviest weight in silence. Some people become experts at masking their pain. They learn how to smile in public, show up to work, and keep everything moving, even when they're struggling internally. That's why the sudden nature of what happened stands out so much. Running out of the house early in the morning without a phone suggests something intense may have happened in that moment. Something felt urgent or overwhelming that day or night. Was it a severe panic episode that made him feel like he needed to get away fast? Was it extreme fear or confusion? Could it have been a reaction to something that affected his thinking temporarily? These are the kinds of questions people are asking. Official reports, including any medical findings, may eventually provide more clarity. There's also the possibility of an underlying mental health condition that wasn't fully recognized or managed. Certain disorders can impact judgment, cause mood swings, or even lead to breaks from reality, especially in someone's 20s. Trauma-related conditions can also trigger intense fight or flight responses that feel impossible to control. Without more confirmed information from the family or medical authorities, we simply don't know what Nathan may have been facing privately. Point number 2, the pond. Nathan was found in a pond close to his home. If you know Milton, Georgia, you know it's a suburban area filled with large houses, golf courses, and retention ponds woven throughout neighborhoods. Having water features like that nearby isn't unusual at all. They're common in Georgia communities to manage stormwater and drainage. But here's the question people keep asking. How did he end up there? Was he disoriented and accidentally fell in? Did he walk into the water during a moment of confusion? Was it dark outside, making it hard to see clearly? Or is there something about that timeline that hasn't been fully explained yet? Police have said there's no indication of foul play. That means, based on the evidence so far, investigators do not believe another person physically harmed him or was directly involved. They've reported no signs of a struggle, no witnesses placing someone else with him at the time, and no clear indicators suggesting outside involvement. But here's the important distinction. Saying there's no foul play doesn't automatically explain exactly what happened. It simply means there's no evidence pointing to another person causing his passing. Those are two very different things. Cases involving water are often complex. Medical examiners look for specific medical indicators to determine whether drowning occurred and under what circumstances. They analyze physical findings, environmental factors, and timing very carefully. Until official results are fully released, many of the details remain part of an ongoing review.
Investigators follow a detailed process in situations like this. They look for any injuries that may have happened before entering the water. They run toxicology tests to check for alcohol, medications, or other substances. They carefully examine the scene to understand how someone could have ended up in that location. All of that takes time, and until official reports are finalized, everyone is working with limited information. Now let's talk about point number 3, the timeline. From Tuesday morning to Friday morning, that's roughly 3 full days before Nathan was found in a pond not far from his home. That gap is what has so many people thinking.
Where was he during that time? Was he alive for part of those days, possibly wandering or staying somewhere nearby in a confused state? Did he enter the water earlier in the week and simply wasn't discovered right away? Or is there something within that window that still hasn't been fully clarified? Those are the key questions investigators will focus on. The medical examiner's role is critical here. Through an autopsy, they work to estimate the time of the passing using scientific indicators like physical changes in the body and environmental factors. They look for injuries, note any marks that might explain what happened, and review toxicology results. Every detail matters in reconstructing those final hours. The condition of the body can provide important clues. If someone has been in water for several days, there are known signs examiners look for. If the time in the water appears shorter, that shifts the focus to what may have happened beforehand. They'll also consider water temperature, depth, and the overall environment of the pond. All of this becomes part of the official investigation, but until the medical examiner releases confirmed findings, people are going to speculate, and social media has definitely been loud. Since Nathan was found, theories have been spreading everywhere, ranging from reasonable questions to ideas that are way out there. That's just how the internet moves when details are limited. Now let's get into point number 4, the industry angle. Because whenever someone connected to a major name in hip-hop passes away under unclear circumstances, people start drawing connections fast. Online, you'll see claims that the industry had something to do with it, or that there were hidden secrets involved. Some even push dramatic conspiracy narratives about secret groups or ritual-type situations. Let's be real for a second. Most of those claims don't come with solid evidence. In many situations like this, the cause turns out to be something tragic but personal, such as a mental health crisis, an accident, or an internal struggle that wasn't visible to the public. The entertainment world can absolutely be competitive and intense, but jumping straight to extreme theories without proof doesn't help anyone understand what really happened. Lil Jon has been in the game for decades. He built his name on high-energy crunk music and party anthems, collaborating with major artists across genres. By public accounts, he's known as someone who cared deeply about his family, especially his son. There's no verified information suggesting involvement in anything criminal or secretive. The statement released by Lil Jon and Nathan's mother, Nicole, was truly heartbreaking. They spoke about loving him with all their hearts, about how proud they were of the man he had become, and how in their final moments together, they made sure he knew how much he meant to them. That doesn't sound like anything secretive or sinister. That sounds like parents grieving an unimaginable loss while the entire world watches, comments, and speculates. When parents speak about making sure their child felt loved, that hits deep. It reflects regret, reflection, and heartbreak, not hidden motives. Losing a child is something no parent ever prepares for, and trying to process that pain under public attention makes it even heavier. At the same time, it's understandable why people ask questions. In hip-hop, there have been situations in the past involving exploitation, intense pressure, and artists struggling behind the scenes. The industry can be demanding. Young creatives sometimes face expectations that are hard to carry. Mental health challenges can go unnoticed. Pressure to succeed can build quietly over time. So while extreme conspiracy theories don't come with proof, it's fair to ask whether being a legacy kid, trying to build your own identity while being the son of a global music icon, might have added pressure. That kind of spotlight can be intense. Living up to a famous last name while trying to stand on your own talent isn't easy. Maybe that weight was heavier than people realized. Now let's talk about point number 5, the phrase that really caught attention: unusual circumstances. When law enforcement uses wording like that, it's intentional. It's broad, but it signals that something about the situation didn't appear routine. They won't always share every detail publicly right away, but that language tells you investigators noticed something out of the ordinary. What could unusual circumstances actually mean? It could refer to behavior his family observed before he left. Maybe he seemed confused, anxious, or not fully himself. Maybe he was saying things that didn't make sense or reacting strongly to something that overwhelmed him emotionally in that moment. Point number 6, the silence after the statement. After authorities shared their initial findings and the family released their message, things went quiet. No dramatic press conferences, no major updates, just silence. And sometimes silence makes people even uneasier. When a case involves someone connected to a major public figure, people expect constant updates. They expect answers fast, but investigations don't move at internet speed. Officials have to verify facts, wait on lab results, and make sure whatever they release is accurate. Still, that gap between what the public wants to know and what authorities can confirm leaves room for rumors to grow. Another detail people keep circling back to is proximity. He was found close to home, not miles away, not in another city, right there near his neighborhood. That makes it feel even more puzzling to some. How does something like this happen so close to familiar surroundings? Was he wandering nearby the entire time? Did search teams initially overlook that specific area? Those are questions people keep raising. It also brings up how easy it is to miss things during large searches. Even when volunteers, police, and community members are combing through areas, certain spots can go unchecked at first glance, especially water locations surrounded by vegetation. Search efforts are complex. They rely on grids, tips, visibility, and timing. Sometimes areas get rechecked more than once before something is discovered. That's just the reality of how these operations work.
At the center of all this is a young man who had talent, education, family support, and opportunity. That's why this story hits differently. People look at someone who seemed to have momentum and ask, how could this happen? But the truth is, personal struggles don't always match someone's public image. Some people online have wondered if Nathan received a message or call that unsettled him. If that were the case, and there was evidence to support it, authorities would likely examine it closely as part of their investigation. Others have asked whether he may have been experiencing intense fear or confusion that made him feel unsafe, even if there was no immediate danger. Severe mental health episodes can sometimes cause people to react to perceived threats that aren't fully grounded in reality. There are also questions about whether something personal happened that morning, maybe an emotional situation that overwhelmed him. From what's been publicly shared, he appeared close with his family, which makes certain theories seem less likely. Some even speculate whether he was reacting to something he saw or heard. But again, police have stated there is no indication of foul play based on the evidence so far. The honest truth is this: we don't know every detail. And unless investigators release additional findings or the family chooses to speak more about it, the full picture of that Tuesday morning may never be completely public. And that's their right. Some moments are deeply personal. Some conversations are private. Grief doesn't require a public explanation. When the news broke, the hip-hop community showed up in a major way. Artists, producers, DJs, and fans from across the culture shared messages of support for Lil Jon and the Smith family. Social media filled with condolences, photos, and tributes honoring Nathan's life. People shared stories about brief encounters, studio sessions, or simple conversations where his kindness stood out. One thing that really stood out was how many voices in the industry used this moment to talk openly about mental health. After the tragedy, the conversation shifted beyond just shock and sadness. Artists began reminding each other to check in, to speak up, and to take emotional well-being seriously. Artists started speaking up about their own battles with depression and anxiety, urging people to check in on their friends more often. They reminded everyone that success and smiles on social media don't always tell the full story. Someone can look like they're winning in public while fighting private struggles nobody else can see. Rappers who usually project strength and confidence began opening up about going to therapy, taking prescribed medication, and dealing with heavy, intrusive thoughts. That kind of honesty hits different. It shows that vulnerability doesn't cancel strength, it actually proves it. We have to normalize real conversations about mental health, especially for young black men who are often raised to hide their emotions and tough it out instead of asking for support. The culture sometimes pushes the idea that showing feelings is weakness, that real men don't cry, and that you're supposed to handle everything alone. But bottling things up can lead to serious consequences over time. Maybe if there were more open conversations, better access to resources, and more acceptance around emotional struggles, situations like this could become less common. Growth starts with honesty. And to anyone listening right now,
If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, overwhelming thoughts, or any kind of emotional crisis, please reach out for help. Talk to someone you trust. Contact a licensed professional. If you're in the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, anytime. If you're outside the U.S., look up a local crisis support number in your country. If you're in the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, anytime. You can also reach out to someone you trust, connect with a licensed therapist, or join a support group. Do whatever steps you need to take to protect your well-being and stay grounded. Your life has value. Your story is still being written, even if right now it feels heavy. The world is better with you here, even on the days when it doesn't feel that way. To the family, friends, and everyone who cared about Nathan Smith, sending strength and compassion your way. May he rest peacefully, and may you find comfort in the memories you shared, the laughter, the moments of pride, and the love that was clearly there. If you want to share your thoughts, do so with respect. This isn't gossip or entertainment. This is real life, real grief, and real people processing loss. Let's honor Nathan by showing more care for one another, checking in on our people, and continuing the conversation around mental health in a positive way. Take care of yourselves and each other. Peace and blessings to everyone.